Let's start by understanding how corrosion impacts vehicle safety. The key point is that corrosion's effect depends on where it occurs and how much damage it causes. Even a small amount of rust in a critical load-bearing part can seriously weaken the structure, making the vehicle unsafe. But corrosion on non-structural areas might not affect safety much. For instance, corrosion on a door sill matters a lot on some vehicles, but less on others. So during inspections, we focus on prescribed areas. These are load-bearing parts where important components like brakes and steering attach, plus any supporting structures within 30 centimeters of those points. We assess corrosion mainly by looking, feeling with fingers, and gently tapping or scraping with a tool, but only enough to confirm if failure criteria are met, avoiding heavy poking. Now let's talk about failure criteria in those prescribed areas. If corrosion causes a hole, or the metal feels soft or gives way under finger pressure or a corrosion tool, that part should be rejected. Also, any fractures or poor repairs in prescribed areas are grounds for rejection. Modifications or distortions only fail if they significantly reduce strength. Outside prescribed areas, defects count only if they affect braking, steering, or overall structure strength. Highly stressed components like steering and suspension arms need special care. If corrosion seriously thins these parts or causes holes, they must be rejected. Welding repairs on these components are usually unacceptable unless the part was originally assembled by welding and the repair matches original strength. It's important to recognize that some vehicle parts, like steering and suspension components, use thin-gauge steel pressings. These can corrode seriously, but often in very localized spots that are hard to spot. So close inspection is essential. Also, some vehicles have separate bodies mounted on a separate underframe, which is the main load-bearing structure. The body or load bed sits on top of this frame. Excessive corrosion in these frames should only be rejected if it affects brakes, steering, prescribed areas, or significantly reduces body or cab security. This distinction helps focus inspections on parts that truly impact safety. When it comes to repairs, safety is paramount. You can refuse to test a vehicle if corrosion or deformation is so severe it risks injury or further damage. Repairs to structural parts must be done correctly, using suitable materials that restore strength equal to the original. Spot welds are acceptable only if the original panel was spot welded and replaced properly. Otherwise, continuous seam welding is required. Some manufacturers accept repairs using MIG brazing or adhesive bonding combined with riveting, but gas brazing, soldering, adhesive bonding alone, fiber reinforcement or body filler are not acceptable for load-bearing parts. If the repair method is unclear, pass the vehicle but advise the presenter. For plastic structures, we must check all testable items mounted directly on them, like steering racks and seat belts. Any cracks, separation or delamination in prescribed areas or loose mountings should lead to failure. Repairs to non-metallic load-bearing structures in prescribed areas are unacceptable, while other repairs must be as strong as the original. Also, replacing panels with different materials on integral vehicles can reduce strength and stiffness. If this significantly affects prescribed areas, reject the modification. If unsure about impact, accept but inform the vehicle presenter. Finally, the diagrams illustrate key load-bearing areas in different vehicle constructions. They highlight parts like steering box mounts, outriggers, side sills, chassis members, suspension mounts, and reinforcements in structural body components. The shaded sections show where the main load-bearing members are located, helping us focus inspections on critical points. Understanding these diagrams is essential to identify which parts require careful corrosion assessment and repair evaluation to ensure vehicle safety is maintained.